So, tell me about Scientology.
Well, you need to watch the South Park clip about it. It is basically a primer. Here, look at my iPad too.
You ready to hear the truth?
I guess.
It all began 75 million years ago. Back then, there was a galactic federation of planets, which was ruled over by the evil Lord Xenu. Xenu thought his galaxy was overpopulated, and so he rounded up countless aliens from all different planets, and then had those aliens frozen. The frozen alien bodies were loaded onto Xenu's galactic cruisers, which looked like DC-8s, except with rocket engines. The cruisers then took the frozen alien bodies to our planet, Earth, and dumped them into the volcanoes of Hawaii. The aliens were no longer frozen, they were dead. The souls of those aliens, however, lived on, and all floated up towards the sky. But the evil Lord Xenu had prepared for this. Xenu didn't want their souls to return, and so he built giant soul catchers in the sky. The souls were taken to a huge soul brainwashing facility, which Xenu had also built on Earth. There the souls were forced to watch days of brainwashing material, which tricked them into believing a false reality. Xenu then released the alien souls, which roamed the Earth aimlessly in a fog of confusion. At the dawn of man, the souls finally found bodies which they could grab onto. They attached themselves to all mankind, which still to this day causes all our fears, our confusions, and our problems.
So I get the idea, but are there really 8 million people who believe in this?
Yes. Well, it all began when L. Ron Hubbard started writing science fiction back in the 1920s. As a young man he wrote extensively, creating a plethora of short stories of the pulp fiction persuasion. He became well known during the 1930s, with around 150 of his stories were published commercially.
And then?
Okay, I'm getting there. As his science fiction popularity started to fade in the late 1930s, with his failure to sell the manuscript of Excalibur, a book he believed to be as important as, if not more important than, the Bible, he joined the Explorers Club and began working on the first of his major strategic moves. In May 1950 he used the popularity of his earlier writings to help launch Dianetics, which was a self-help guide that he believed was a milestone for man comparable to his discovery of fire and superior to his invention of the wheel and the arch. By August 1950 it had sold 55,000 copies.
And then?
Hubbard used Dianetics as a way to raise serious amounts of cash. Part of the process of using Dianetics for self-improvement involved auditing, a process where individuals paid large sums of money for Hubbard to assess them, despite the medical profession and the press being hugely critical of the process.
And then?
Well, although this proved initially successful, it was a short-lived success and, by the end of 1950, even its supporters were becoming cynical, seeing no evidence of its success or validity.
So it was dead, then?
Well, no, and that's where the real strategic agility comes in. Hubbard took his stories and his self-help theories and, in a classic example of resource fluidity, used them to create the Scientology religion that we see today. He used the same business model as with Dianetics, getting people to make huge donations for something he's persuaded them to believe, but he demonstrated both strategic and operational agility by altering the structure of Scientology so that it didn't have the decentralized nature that Dianetics had had.
Wow. So, other than demonstrating the ability to adapt the use of his resources to changing circumstances and in different ways, how did Hubbard demonstrate strategic agility?
Well, let's look at the other two main elements. The context that he found himself in is central to an understanding of the strategic sensitivity that he demonstrated. In the 1950s, global religion memberships were stagnating. In fact, in 2011 we can see that Christianity membership numbers have been static at 33% of global population for over 100 years. Hubbard, sensitive to this situation, capitalized on the growing global dissatisfaction with existing religions and created a religion that satisfied a growing minority of affluent individuals looking to improve themselves through religion.
Wow. So, what will happen with Scientology in the future?
We don't know, but what we do know is that strategically agile organizations can grow significantly by building on their capabilities and leveraging them in new domains.
My God, or should I say my Xenu, that is an incredible story of strategic agility. To take science fiction writing and turn it into a global religion? Hell yeah.